This is Stars and Scopes with your friend Uma, updated every new and full moon with guidance based on planetary transits in the current sky and extra support from tarot. For accuracy, take a look at your rising sign first if you know it, and do feel free to listen to your sun, moon and rising if you'd like the full picture. If you're interested in your birth chart, check out the readings page at umaruby.com, and if you'd like to support the work, head over to buymeacoffee.com/umaruby and you can buy me a coffee. Finally, if you're a visual learner, look up Uma Ruby Tarot on YouTube and you can watch and learn. Okay, let's take a look. Hello Pisces and Pisces rising, welcome to your horoscope for the full moon in Aquarius, happening on August the 12th at 11:36 a.m. if you're in the southern hemisphere with me. So as far as the ritual, either the evening of the 11th or the evening of the 12th will still be a beautiful time to catch the most of that lunation, of that beautiful, beautiful lunar light to cast your spells, to do your spell work and to release what it is that you no longer need at this given time. How's the triple conjunction been treating you, Pisces? Cat got your tongue or not? Maybe you've been encouraged to speak your mind or your truth. Maybe you've found yourself to be not combative, but definitely maybe more direct than you normally may find yourself to be. This is the micro experience I'm talking about. So if you remember, there was the Mars-Uranus North Node conjunction in Taurus. For Pisces rising, it is the third house, communication, the village, the way that we send and receive messages, maybe another simple way to describe it. So what did you say and who did you say it to? And what are you preparing to do with this newfound confidence or these newfound ideas? Perhaps there's something that you've been trying to describe or put forward that has been given an extra boost from this conjunction. Maybe. If we zoom out and think of the macro experience of this conjunction and think of Taurus itself and what it represents, the land and earth and practicality, material sort of reality, think about the revolutionary shifts that have been maybe happening. If we localize it to Australia, the Indigenous voice to Parliament is an action that is gaining such momentum over this transit time. That is a beautiful affirmation, perhaps, of the positivity that these conjunctions can sometimes bring. Maybe. Have a think about it. Okay, so the Aquarius full moon, it's happening for you in your 12th house, which is gorgeous. You know the 12th very well, Pisces. It's on the natural zodiac. It's your home base. So 12th is the unconscious. 12th is dreamland. 12th is the subliminal, liminal space between reality and what else. Okay, it's the house that in times gone by was related to incarceration and hospitals and things like that. So think about the aspects of your reality, particularly your dreams, I would suspect might be a area of life that are quite articulate. Think full moon in that space. What are we giving back to Luna that we no longer need? Now remember that Saturn is still in Aquarius, and Saturn at this lunation will actually be forming another pressurized square with that third. So if we think about it in a constructive way, think about it in terms of maybe this is a full Saturn as well as a full moon, because the sun in Leo is beaming its light to the moon in Aquarius and also Saturn, because they're nearly conjunct, they're nearly exact. I think it's 19 degrees and 22, I can't remember the exact, but it's quite close. So in that way, the moon is ultra-charged by Saturn, by restriction, by the boundaries. Actually, that might be where we can delve a little bit further. Perhaps there's a fresh perspective that you're gaining in terms of the unconscious, in terms of your dreams effects over you. I know that in a lower vibration, Pisces can be prone to swimming away when things get too spooky, or when things get too serious, or when things get too painful, when the emotions don't stop and the feelings just become like a sinkhole in some way. And sometimes the dreamland, the unconscious, can affect how you perhaps operate day to day. It can affect your conscious awareness. That's a superpower of yours, Pisces. And every light needs a shadow. So if it's been difficult for you, if you've been feeling you're driving yourself a bit loco, or you've been a bit destabilized maybe by some of the realities of what's happening in life at the moment. If you're in the northern hemisphere, sorry to go back to the conjunction, that's I'm a Pisces rising and I go this way and that way. If you're in the northern hemisphere, think about what happened in Kansas just recently as well. That would be another example of, nope, table flipped. This is what we do. So use that as support, because I can understand, there are things that are banking up. There is things that are pressurizing here. Life on Earth is picking up. So if any of this is causing you grief, if it's entering your unconscious and it's sort of disturbing your sleep and stuff like that, I would use the moon's at 19 degrees of Aquarius, and the tarot card for that is the Six of Swords. So look at the turbulent water here. Look at the clearing that they're moving to. This is an active decision to move away from perhaps a complex thought form or a complex structure of thoughts. That might be a really good emblem for you, Pisces. If you do have tarot yourself, I probably would assume that you do. Work with this card on the full moon. Pop it under your pillow and really understand and learn what the essence of the meaning of this card is. It's definitely to do with water as well as it is to do with thoughts. So swords are thoughts, water is emotion. So if things have been difficult unconsciously for you, this is the perfect lunation, the perfect Aquarian full moon for you to give it back and to let it go and to release yourself. It might be worth doing an unbinding ritual or an unbinding spell. Release yourself from the continual patterns that are being created in your unconscious. This isn't to say, I'm not saying, stick your head in the sand and forget all about it, everything's fine. No, we don't do that. But we definitely do give ourselves that space, boundaries, Saturn, Aquarius, lovely. Space from what am I doing here? The approach of perhaps your worry for humanity in the unconscious brain. You're doing all that you can, and we're all doing all that we can to keep this thing afloat in our own way. And remember the power of that too, Pisces. Remember that by meditation, by prayer, by ritual, by gently learning and understanding a bit more about the universe and the synchronicities that happen up there and down here, as above, so below. It's going to be all right, and you are open and active and aware of all of these different possibilities. But it's very important, as Saturn is in Aquarius, to work with the boundaries and don't allow all of that to overwhelm you and have you, all the things that we do. All the things that we do to sort of numb the feeling, numb the experience, numb the empathy, all of those different things. And, in moderation, they're all fabulous. Too much of anything. Well, Mae West did say, sometimes too much of a good thing can be wonderful. She was mainly talking about sex. Anyway, that's just some advice from me to you in the zodiac. So also, it could be a great time for this moon to inform or supercharge some of your communication, some of your messages that are coming out, if they've been quite passionate at the moment because of that Mars energy and because of that Uranus rebel, then use the full Saturn and full moon the full moon's perfect to emotional regulation, beautiful. Like almost if you wanted to, if there's some passion in you, give it back to the moon, shout at her because she can take it. She's, that's what she's there for in a lot of ways, is to receive these messages back so we can expel them from our physical self. It doesn't have to be like that too. You could be having a completely different experience of this conjunction. You could be coming to complete revolutionary brain light bulb moments. That could be happening for you. And the moon is here to shine a light on how proud you should be of where you drew that from that unconscious self. That could be another way that this is all playing out for you. In any event, a full moon in Aquarius, great for you Pisces. You know the 12th so well. And in a lot of ways, because the 12th is ruled by Aquarius, there is that access to the collective unconscious as well. That's a nice way to think about it. Yeah. So that's the zodiac. I'm going to pull some intuitive tarot from the Modern Witch deck. I think it's essential. So, Spirit, please. I need 3 cards for Pisces to work with at this beautiful Aquarian full moon. What? Thank you. Oh, I got 2. Oh, they're both upside down. Okay. Another good little tarot tip. If you don't work with reversals, you really don't have to. I mean, it's when they come out, and you can often see why, Well, in this case, then, they're upside down for a reason. Okay, so first up we had the Knight of Wands and the King of Swords in reverse. So remember the King of Swords, remember Chan Marshall from Cat Power, remember the power of the intellect, the power of the mind when treated with respect and reverence and, neurodivergent or not. There's, a lot of different ways that this can be looked at, but the power, I always think of so many songs when I think of the King of Swords. There's that really intellectual integrity, and also it's very Aquarian energy too, the King of Swords. So think about, zooming out and thinking about the working from a space of intelligence and education in regard to the collective consciousness or humanity, as it were. Think about all of the different ways that if you don't know Cat Power, I suggest that you look them up immediately, but you're a Pisces, so I imagine that you do. Think about Chan and her work to do with the collective, all of the causes and all of the awareness that she has of all of the different issues that are happening, particularly in America. That's her home base, but globally as well. And the essence of this intelligence is a sort of grand statement of equality, at all costs. That's the King of Swords. Upside down, if we think about the reversal position as perhaps the shadow side of that energy, so this could be describing, I think, maybe some of the activation that's been happening maybe in the 12th house for you, some of that sort of ultra concern, perhaps, rather than it being a space of, as I said, intelligence and direction, perhaps it's been weighing you down and sort of slowly building some sort of cage. And maybe we've got this Knight of Wands energy. This could also be fits and starts in terms of that sort of Mars passion in terms of how you're trying to communicate some of this. I don't know if you've gotten into arguments with anyone, or if it's been maybe sort of there's been emotions that have been fire that's been popping up for you and you're not quite sure why. I dare say that it would be to do with your awareness of the culture at the moment and the anger. You know, anger's not bad. You're entitled to rage. So, but this shadow position shows me that this is the place to work from in this reading. And the reason I say that is because the other two cards I got were the Two of Wands. So there's Sissy Hank Shaw. If you're following my full trip painting series, which is going very slowly, I apologize. But I have to learn the tarot before I can paint it. But Two of Wands is the moment of action plan, of like writing the treasure map, which way we're going to go. Look at these wands as a portal. There's a real opening here, a real opportunity. And there's the moon. So this spread is maybe just reestablishing what I was talking about with the astrology. But absolutely, you're so entitled to every emotion, every anger that you have about the state of affairs at the moment, about how human beings treat each other. You're very entitled to want to swim away. You're very entitled to want to, away. I understand. It's okay, but it's not going to serve you in the long run, because that's going to let those swords sort of creep back in. Remember that we're at the Six of Swords. We're at that real moment of clearing and of moving from that choppiness, that turbulence. So activate the portal that this full moon's going to create for you. Activate this portal to the 12th. Really ask of your dreams. Okay, so what are you trying to show me? What's emerging from the waters, the liminal waters of the unconscious? Maybe a great tune for you to listen to would be The Moon by Cat Power. If, let's keep it on trend. I know I will. I mean, I do sort of bi-weekly. Anyway, so that's your reading, Pisces. That's hopefully that can quell some of maybe the potential anxiety that might be brewing up for you at this current time, and give you the tools to activate that portal and to really I just don't want to bore you with the same old thing, but work with this energy, work with what's around and what's available. That's the end of the sand, my darling. So that's your reading. All my very best, Pisces. Good luck with the full moon. Let me know how you go. You can head to umaruby.com if you'd like to tip me, as always. Birth charts readings are going so beautifully and swimmingly, and they're all available over at umaruby.com. Actually, quickly before I go, let me know if I'm diversifying this content, and I'm sort of, it takes me a lot to focus, but once I do, I'm hyper-focused. So I want to perhaps explain the house system using the tarot, because it can be confusing, I think, some of the astrological language. And if you can't see the movable parts of a chart, it can sometimes be like, what the hell's a fourth house? And why is my fourth house Gemini? I thought fourth house was Cancer. All of that stuff. I might make a video about that. But some suggestions in the comment box would be really great. I'd be really grateful for them, because I'm having a blast and my third house is activated. So let's do it. All right, until I speak to you in 2 weeks for the new moon in Virgo, which is a lovely, romantic, beautiful space of potential for Pisces. Until I speak to you then, I love you, and full moon blessings. Take care. Bye.